Hey everyone, welcome to Otaku Talk. It's me, your boy, your host, OD, and today we'll be reviewing and analyzing chapter 1022 of One Piece. Man, dope chapter, sets up so much. Can't wait to get into it. Before we do that though, if this is your first time here or if you've been here before but haven't already done so, I would really appreciate it. It would mean the world to me if you join my League of Otaku. So please like this video, share it with your friends, and most importantly, subscribe and bang that bell. It would mean the ever-loving world to me. So without much further ado, let's get into this. All right, guys, chapter 1022 of One Piece, The Stars Take the Stage. We've been waiting for this forever. You can tell by that chapter title what's in store for us. I'm super hyped. So let's just go from like the order of when things happen. So first thing I want to talk about is I'm kind of super disappointed. Oh, by the way, there is the cover photo. It's the Tontada playing hide and seek with a frog. Once again, unless it's a cover story, I don't really care. It's cool art. It's dope. I appreciate it for what it is, but not much to talk about there. Honestly, the only art recently that was actually like kind of talkable was the one we did last week with Senor Pink and Frankie, because that had some relevance to the story, but I digress. Anyway, back to what I was originally about to say. I'm a little disappointed by this. So it looks like Oda has officially confirmed. Now, of course, it's subject to change, but it looks like Oda's officially confirmed that Black Maria, Sasaki, and Who's Who are down and out for the count. So I'll be real with you, out of all of them, I kind of assumed maybe like Sasaki out of the three of them was the only one that might actually be down for the count. And even that I was skeptical of. But I definitely thought that we might see like Saman Kikan, if I'm pronouncing that right, from Who's Who. I thought there was a lot more to him. I didn't think we were going to get, the entire revelation of, the Sun God Nika and like, the what's it called? The Gamu Gamu no Mi, as well as more information about, the CP0. But I thought there was, a little bit more substance to be had there from Who's Who, a little bit more exposition to be had there from Who's Who. But it looks like he's down and out for the count. So I'm really kind of disappointed in that. I feel like we didn't really get enough of him. For someone that's quote unquote the rival of Rob Lucci, we didn't get to see much. And obviously, that could just be him tooting his own horn, putting himself on a pedestal, trying to, say, hey, I was as good as Rob Lucci. But from what I saw, not so much. I feel like Rob Lucci wouldn't have gone out like a punk like that. Yeah, I was kind of disappointed, right? And then you have Black Maria, where, like, honestly, not gonna lie, Robin is known for one-shotting. Like, she breaks your back, breaks your spine, like you're pretty much out for the count. But I figured, hey, we didn't see, we never saw Black Maria's complete Zoan form. Like typically, the hybrid form is the strongest form of a Zoan. It has all the benefits of, the Zoan form and their standard human form, right? And so we saw her hybrid form, which was one of the most unique hybrid forms we've ever seen in a Zoan, where half her body was a woman, half her body was a spider. It was like, the Arachne kind of deal. And if you guys watch, what's it called? Kuma Kuma no Desu, the So What, I'm a Spider anime. Spoiler alert, she turns into like one of those type of beings. So maybe it's just Oda trying to like make it kind of go along with the lore. But I was thinking, okay, maybe we'll get a giant spider. Maybe we'll get some more exposition as to why she's able to like create fire. Maybe we'll get some more exposition into her life. We didn't even really get a lot of background. It kind of seemed that like her, that Kaido and Black Maria had like a kind of intimate relationship. I was kind of really interested in touching base upon that, learning more about that, learning more about her past, and like on why she's so into like yokai and all that stuff. And I can't lie, I'm a little bit disappointed. It seems we're not going to be getting that. Now, if you look at it from the perspective of, hey man, Oda has a lot of shit to do. He claims he's gonna end this series in 3 years. I don't think anyone is buying that. But if he is trying to keep true to that, he's not gonna have time to like, give exposition to every single character we meet along the way, like he's done in the past. So I kind of get it. It's just I feel like I was kind of misled in terms of the fact that we were shown with like Ulti and Page One that there seems to be really, really advanced regenerative abilities from Zoans. And so for them to kind of, be one and done seems a little bit sketchy to me. Now, once again, of course, Oda could bring him back, but he specifically shows in the panel that the Tobi-Roppo are defeated. He makes sure to show the whites of their eyes. So, yeah, there's that. So, yeah, moving on. Like I said, little bit disappointed, kind of, wanted some clarifications and some finality on some things, but I totally understand that we have better places to be. All right, next up, we see Luffy is full as, showcased by his burp. He is ready to fight. So all that's left for him is to get back to the rooftop. I'm really kind of disappointed that we weren't given any more information on like the whole Momonosuke and Shinobu part. Basically, what happened was last chapter we were told, hey, I want you to mature me. I want you to make me older so I can be a bigger dragon, so that I can get Luffy up there, so that I can fly better utilize my abilities. And we get no mention of that this chapter. So Oda's gonna, blue balls with that a little bit. That's fine. I get it. Luffy can't get there too quickly. We have some great fights set up this chapter, so I totally understand why that's being delayed. But Oda did want to show that, hey, Luffy is back up and at him. He is full. We've seen this time and again. When my boy Luffy gets full, when he replenishes his strength, it's time for round 2, time for round 3, time for round 4. I ain't hear no damn bell. I'm Monkey D. Luffy, and I'm about this shit. So I can't wait for him to get back up there and give the join Yamato and get the work. A lot of big YouTubers have been talking about how, the legend of not Momonosuke, but Momotaro, and how, he befriended a dog, a pheasant, and a monkey. And, for the longest time, we had the admirals with those epithets. But now we're seeing that, okay, we have the dog in Yamato. We have the pheasant the pheasant in Marco the Phoenix. And we have the monkey in Monkey D. Luffy. So a lot of people are predicting that there's going to be a final clash, a final showcase with Luffy, Marco, and Yamato, which I would have no problem with. And then obviously Luffy would need to, finish off that final blow. What else do we have? So we're given more an ETA. The stakes are risen. We're told that Onigashima is about 15 minutes away from the Flower Capital. So Luffy has to get up there fast. We have to stop this fight fast. But on top of that, what exactly happens? Because there's no way that in that time period Luffy is going to get there and defeat Kaido. So definitely during the course of their fight, Onigashima is going to loom directly above the Flower Capital. At this point, I have no clue how we can stop, Onigashima from crashing on the Flower Capital. I've said this a million times in my past reviews, but there's only two things I can really see happening, and that's one, Momonosuke, especially now that he's going to be a bigger dragon in this form, he is going to create his own clouds, catch Onigashima, and maybe move it away. Actually, I have 3 theories. So that's the first one. The second one is really out there, but there might be a possibility that Momonosuke can summon Zunisha, and Zunisha is known for carrying whole islands on its back and stuff like that, or a whole civilization on his back. So and the Minks and the residents of Wano have known to have a past history. So maybe Zunisha can catch it, put it on its back, something along those lines, and then that'll create a new civilization, because we do know that the Minks are not destined to remain on Zunisha forever. So I'm curious if that just means in that form, or the Minks are going to integrate into Wano. And the last thing is, I would love this. This is my favorite theory. This is what I would love to happen. And you remember what happened with Noah, where Luffy was destroying it, and we were told that if he hadn't been stopped, he may have possibly been able to destroy it, but we never got that closure. It would just be a great parallel and a great showcase of his growth if Luffy just decides to say F it and destroy the entirety of Onigashima with his bare hands, similar to what he was going to do with Noah. And I feel like this would be a greater feat, because I believe Onigashima is probably bigger than Noah, and it's made out of actual like land and like massive amounts of like earth and not bedrock, but you get my point. I think that would just be an excellent showcase of Luffy's current power state and resolve, and it would just be very cool just for the people to look above, see Luffy bah, 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 and it's just raining debris and him saving them all. However, the only reason I could not see that happening is it seems that there's some kind of great significance to Onigashima. Maybe there's something hidden in it. I want to know the significance of the skull. There seems to be some greater purpose Kaido has for moving Onigashima here. It could be as simple as, hey, I was the de facto Shadow King behind the scenes, and now I just want to be at the forefront, the head on the head seat. Everyone know it's me. But I do think Oda has something greater in store. I forget where we're at with the poneglyphs. If we did find a poneglyph, but I'm not sure if it. I don't believe the one Law found was the one that we were looking for. I think we're still looking for that. So yeah, there's a lot going on that we're not quite too like clear on. So who knows? We'll see what happens next. So flash forward, we have the fight between Raizo and Fukurokujo, right? And I'm gonna be real with you. This isn't a fight that I'm super excited for, but like it is a good fight nonetheless that I'm excited for. The new member of the Oni, not the new, but the head leader of the Oniwabanshu, and Raizo, who was a member of, who used to be a member of the Oniwabanshu, and so he's just conflicted. He's like, how could you follow Orochi when Odin died? We were all hurt. We were all like crying over it. How could you ally with the person that is directly responsible for the death of Odin? And Fukurokujo shows no remorse, shows no kind of, yeah, he just doesn't care. He's ride or die for the Beast Pirates now, and I'm kind of wondering if there's a reason for that. If he just, well, not for the Beast Pirates, for Orochi. Sorry about that. And yeah, and they're going at it. You have Raizo using his scroll fruit to do ninjutsu, does a shadow clone jutsu, and then you see Fukurokujo do some earlobe knockers. So I'm very curious about that. We're not shown or told if he has a devil fruit as of now. If you guys remember, I believe the name is Ganbu, but back when everyone was making theories about like how you have the dragon, then you have the white tiger, and then you have the snake. Who is it? No, dragon, tiger. There was another the pheasant or something, pheasant or phoenix, and then you had the Ganbu, which was a turtle with a snake. And I made the comparison that, hey, if you have Orochi, who is, the snake, then what about, Fukurokujo, who kind of, seems to give off kind of that like turtleish appeal, right? So I thought he might be the Ganbu, the like turtle with the snake on it, and joined to that snake. He's joined to Orochimaru, something like that. So yeah, this fight should be interesting. But as far as like who's gonna win or lose and like watching it, I don't really particularly care for these two characters, like outside of the main grand scheme of things. It'll just be another important fight that is happening, that's occurring, that I'll definitely give invested interest into. But whatever. It should leave for a cool fight. But I don't really expect to see much from Raizo. I don't really expect to see much from Fukurokujo, unless of course he has the Ganbu no Mi or whatever, and we do see some really cool things in that aspect. I do think it's funny, however, how he does his shadow clone jutsu, but like one shadow clone, one of these things is clearly not like the other, and you see like the regular shadow clones all look pretty much normal, but then you see the real version of him is sweating. It's got snot coming out of his nose and stuff like that. And so Fukurokujo is like, you've always worn your heart on your sleeve. You revealed yourself. It's easy to know which one you are. But I do hope that Oda's going to do one of those things where he subverts expectations, and it's exactly because of Raizo's ability to wear his heart on his sleeve that that will be what ends up making Raizo win the fight inevitably. But I really do hope that if anything, this fight just leads to more exposition into why Fukurokujo allied himself with Orochi, and just more information and background into Wano and what's been happening with Wano, and possibly maybe Fukurokujo having his reasons for working for Kaido. Maybe he's protecting people. We don't truly know. Anyway, moving on to the next scene, we have Killer versus Basil Hawkins. was super hyped for this, and it just seems like Killer is effing the ever living mess out of Basil Hawking. He's like, yo, how many of your lives do you have left? Which before the time skip, we knew that he could hold up to 10 straw dolls. We don't know how much that is now. I would only assume after the time skip, maybe he's increased his ability and is able to store way more. But prior to the time skip, he was only able to store 10. So he asked him how many you have left, and Basil Hawkins easily offers up the fact that, like, I don't have a lot more. I'm sweating. I'm a little shook right now. And I was like, yo, he's a little bit too like cocky about this. Why is he okay with saying that? Why is he so cool about doing that? And then it becomes super obvious because we find out that somehow, some way, he's attached one of the straw dolls to Kid. And I was like, what? And I love that. It highly increases the stakes. It makes you go, okay, what? How does Killer beat him now? Is there any way to defeat him without killing Kid, his captain, who he swore loyalty to? And so I really, really look forward to seeing how this is resolved, how Oda deals with this. And I'm also curious about how this happens. And it makes me, it begs the question of how exactly does his Devil Fruit work? How does he make these quote unquote straw doll contracts? Because, you know, part of me is like, couldn't he just do this with any enemy he has, make him into a straw doll and like stab himself or have someone kill him or whatever, and then just get rid of his enemy like that? But obviously there's more than meets the eye there. My theory is that, you know, during the Kid the Kid on air and Hawken Pirates, maybe they were drinking one night, maybe they were making a toast. Maybe they entered some kind of contract, and during that process, that's when Basil Hawkins, you know, made the deal. Because as you can see, even from his first appearance, it's only his own crew that dies. So I think that there just has to be some kind of parameter or contract that is met. So he has to have some kind of relationship or some way, shape, or form that is met by being allied with a Kid that allows him to make a straw doll utilizing Kid's life force. And why not stop at Kid? Possibly, is there a way for him to have one that allies with that's connected to Apu in some way as well? But anyway, that's the biggest thing. The two things I'm looking forward to that fight are the resolution of how exactly do we beat him? How do we void his Devil Fruit ability? Is there some kind of workaround? Is there some kind of roundabout? Maybe we can do something weird where we temporarily kill Kid, but then kind of bring him back. I don't know. So I think that Oda's going to have a really creative and clever way in how he circumnavigates this, and I can't wait to look forward to it. On top of that, I'm very curious if Apu is somewhere attached to this. And speaking of Apu, like I said last review, I would really love if Brook got to fight him. I know that Apu is a captain, and he's actually a pretty high bounty captain, so it kind of might be out of the depth and scope of someone like Brook. But musician versus musician would be chef's kiss to watch and witness, right? I'm gonna skip ahead a little bit, but I'm gonna go back to it with the king, what's happening with King and Queen, because something happens that has, like, you know, a couple panels, and I just wanted to touch on that before I get to the main section of this chapter. But, you know, you see Perospero trying to snipe, I believe it's either like Marco or Zoro, I forget exactly who, and you have the homie Nekomamushi show up and crack this man, bruh. I was so hyped. I was waiting for this. The moment he set out to find this man, I was like, bruh's gonna get the business. And he totally does. I can't wait to see him put the work on him. Honestly, I'm gonna be real with you. I don't even think he needs Sulong form to fight him, but I'm sure that Perospero is gonna play dirty. I'm sure Perospero is gonna have some tricks up his sleeve. And worst case scenario, maybe Sulong form will come into effect and put him over the edge. But I can't wait for this fight. You know, Nekomamushi is here to avenge Pedro, so there's a lot of stakes here for him. I can't wait to hear what Perospero says, because literally every single time someone comes at him like, hey, you killed Pedro, he's like, bruh, that motherfucker blew himself up. He blew himself up. That wasn't me. Like literally every time someone brings it up, Perisparrow's like, come on, yo. Come on. That was not me. He did that shit. Take that up with him in heaven. I ain't do that. So I can't wait. I can't wait to hear him do it again with Nekomamushi. Hopefully in the next chapter or so. But that's been that's a ongoing thing that's been happening. That's been cracking me up. Anyway, the main part of this chapter. So we see King and Queen. They're towering over Marco. Marco looks down and out for the count. And honestly, can you blame him? He was fighting the two head like commanders of the Beast Pirates and King and Queen. It's honestly rather impressive that for this long he's held out. For a while everyone was like, oh my god, he's holding them off on his own, he's handling them by his own. But it appears no, he was actually struggling, which I like. It wasn't an easy feat. These guys are really powerful. And honestly, it hasn't really seemed like Queen has been going all out like that. It's kind of seemed like he's been messing around more so than anything. We pan over, we see Zoro. He's still, cross mummied up, just lying there. We're told by either Tristan or Miyagi that it's because that it's taking longer than normal, and that's probably just because of the sheer extent of his injuries. Which I'm really, really hoping. I've said this before, that I really hope that there is some kind of ramification, not permanent, but something to this, because for this just to be some kind of cure-all and then Zoro was good after all this. No, I want there to be some kind of consequence for him using this medicine, a little bit long lasting. But I'm hoping that that's Oda's way of saying that, yeah, the extent of his damage is so grievous that it took this long to heal, and that the backlash might be even greater. But we understand that Zoro is no stranger to pain. He's no stranger to putting his life on the line. That's what makes him so great. And also, I think that's the reason that like Zoro will never die. I think it's gonna be there's that one expression or quote that like, if you go into battle prepared to die, you'll live. But if you go expecting or trying to live, you'll die. I think Zoro is the perfect epitome of that saying, of that quote. And so, we don't even have to, the beast pirate defectors, and we see Queen and King, by the way, like holding and beating up all the defectors. They don't really know what's happening, but they don't care. They're like, you betrayed us, so you're dead to us. And so we see the ones that have switched sides and are loyal to the Straw Hats now, trying to protect Zoro, understanding that, hey, he fought for us, he protected us. The least we can do is try to protect him. And so they try to attack him, and that's when we find out that Marco wasn't down for the count. He comes back once again. I don't know if that's just Marco being Marco, that's just his will, or that's, something to do with being a Zoan. But he's able to come out, uses a move, something Thistle, and protects Zoro. And then shortly after that, we see Zoro emerge from his bandages. Marco doing the whole anime character, holding the glasses, lens flare part. And then bada bing, bada boom, we have a wombo combo from Sanji and Zoro. All the fans are hyped, putting aside our differences to watch these two badasses go ham. We see Sanji use mutton. We see Diablo Jambe mutton. We see Zoro use Purgatory Onigiri. And bada bing, bada boom, we have two of the top fights that we have been waiting for since the start of this arc. We're going to have Sanji versus Queen and Zoro versus King. I'm super hyped for it. I'm super here for it. Can't wait to see what they do. I can't wait to see Sanji show us some new abilities, possibly use his raid suit. And mainly, I'm just here for the exposition. I really want more of the exposition. Obviously, Queen is going to talk more about Mads. Can't wait to get into that. I want to learn. I want to see, King use his sword. He's had a sword that I believe he hasn't taken out yet. He's going to be flying. I wonder how Zoro is going to deal with someone who can take flight. Speaking of King, we are told by, it's confirmed by Marco that he's part of a race that lives at the top of the red line. So I'm very excited to hear about that. Even Big Mom mentioned it earlier, because he's one of the top, the main three races or species that is missing from her family. She was trying to get him to defect and come over to her side. So I'm very excited to get exposition onto King, his race. Is he possibly the last survivor? Because we haven't really seen any more of these guys. We've been to the Red Line and haven't seen much. So yeah, there's a lot this chapter set up. Oda's doing it no break next week. So I'm super hyped. I'm super hyped for these fights. I'm super hyped for the exposition. I'm super hyped for everything. But One Piece is taking the fuck off, and I am here for it. Anyway, I'm going to leave the review here for now. I might do like another little expanded thing after I have more time to like reread this chapter a couple more times, watch a bunch of other creators and see what else they took from this chapter. But yeah, man, I'm super excited. Oh, I'm wondering, has Zoro, while he was passed out, has he been, mentally training or pondering how to better use Enma in this fight? He can use the fire ren techniques, so I'm assuming that's going to help him a lot against King, who is a fire wielder. So yeah, man, we're in this bitch. I'm hyped. So please comment down below your thoughts. If you have any questions, anything I left out. How do you feel about the Topirapo being defeated? Like I said, I'm a little underwhelmed by that, but I do understand the necessity of moving on with the story. What do you think is going to happen with Onigashima? And yeah, just everything that's happening right now. Big Mom has kind of been sidelined. Like that fight kind of has got pushed under. So I'm kind of sad about that. And yeah, what do you think is going to happen with Momonosuke? Anyway, take care, guys. Thank you for watching. Please do not forget to like, share, and subscribe. Bang that bell. It would mean the world to me. Join my League of Otaku. Without further ado, this has been Otaku Talk, and I'm your host, OD. Take care. Peace. Have a great weekend.